Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. It's 8:03. Gee. Good afternoon, everybody. You are watching Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, shortwave, and electronics, and other things that we can mix in that kind of goes along with that. If you're watching our video, you're probably watching it on you're watching it on YouTube and X tonight. That's the only two places we Facebook is not letting us in tonight, so I don't know. Normally we would also be webcasting on Facebook. If you will, on YouTube here, please click the subscribe button and the notify button. It helps us out a whole lot there if you would do that for us. We're also on shortwave. If you're hearing us and listening to us, you're listening on Thursday evenings between 5 and 7 p.m. Eastern Time on 7490 on WBCQ radio up in Monticello, Maine. Let's see. I got a really nice email the other day. I should have brought it in here to read it, but one of our viewers sent us a nice note and said how he listens to it all the time, and he enjoys the show, so that's great. If you're out there and if you would send us an email, we'd love to hear from you. Whether you're a watcher or a listener, we'd love to hear from you. Or if you're just listening on the podcast, we'd like to know where you are. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com, tom@w5kub.com. All right. So let's see. I think we got most all that out of the way. I don't know if I forgot anything or not. Tonight we've got, two or three little segments we're going to talk about. Nothing special tonight, but maybe to be some interest to some of you guys. And it's going to lead up to probably some near future webcasts that go into them in detail. Let's jump over to Conway, Arkansas, and say hello to Glenn. Glenn, come on in here, Glenn.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Man, we're doing good here.
You shifting my picture here.
Do I? Well, let me see if I can shift it again. Bam.
Yeah.
How's that? Is that better?
There you go. That's better. You saw the monster.
Virtual calling. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Why is it so clean? Why is it so clean behind you?
What do you mean?
Clean. Look at it. Look at that desk back here. It looks like it got a glass top. It's been dusted. What's going on, man?
No, it hasn't been dusted, but it's been organized. Those 3 bins came down from the top on the rack behind me because I needed to organize them. That is notes, future projects, and future books.
Hey, just let me take a break here real quick. Brett turned his air conditioner off.
So then I need to talk really slow so it gets warm over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, actually, it's finally cooled down from the 100-degree days here, and it was 80-something today. I got the lawn mowed. Almost hung the end fed, but the lawn took priority.
Man.
And busting my tail on the mesh networking book. It's due September 16th. So that's, full bore on that. Got the Huntsville Hamfest forum all put together and in the can, ready to go. It's an all new one. And we're going to be focusing on remote control, things like LoRa, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all of that. Yes, sir. There it is. When are you getting in over there?
We're coming down Friday morning. Probably end up getting there maybe 1 o'clock or something.
Okay, because I'm targeting 2 or 3 on Friday.
Yeah, okay. Great.
And maybe we can get together and do dinner or something.
Yeah, we can do that.
But, getting really excited for Huntsville. Like I say, for me, this is an all-new forum, an all-new everything. Got a prize or two to give out. So my forum's going to be good. You know, Bill Brown's doing his balloon forum right after mine, and they've got a great forum list. So I'm just really ready to go to Huntsville. I'm ready for a flea market to buy some stuff. I'm taking the SUV so I can haul whatever I buy home. It's not like Dayton or Orlando when I fly. So it's going to be more fun when I can buy a boat anchor or two if I want.
So you're going to drive down?
Yes. I'm leaving here probably about 8 in the morning, and it's a 6-hour ride, so I'll get there about 2 or 3.
Yeah, okay. And, very good.
The SUV I drive is really comfortable. So, I mean, it's got the range, and just sit back and put the cruise control on, and off you go.
All right, well, great. Looking forward to it. Man, we're about a week and a half out. Yeah, buddy. It's going to be good.
Yep, and we're almost all healed up from the hospital stuff. I still have...
oh, man. Don't show me that I might faint.
It's worse. It's worse in the thigh where they put the other 2 catheters in. But,
yeah.
I will tell you one thing. I'm really not supposed to feel the full effects of the procedure for another 2 to 3 months. But let me tell you what, it's been, a little over a week and a half, and it's been 1,000 times improvement. Much, much better. So we're pretty much done with the doctor stuff for a while.
That's good, man. You're looking good there, and you've got a good smile.
Really good.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good.
All right. Well, look at here. Now, I was going to take an antenna to Huntsville to sell. I don't have a table, so I guess I was going to have to strap it on my backpack or something. But
yeah,
I've already sold it on the show. Well, on the show, I didn't sell it. I gave it away. Brett has already made his first free purchase. He's getting a GMRS base station antenna.
Very cool.
Now, I don't have to take it, see, but no, wait, I do have to take it because he's going to have to carry it home. I hope it'll.
Now, wait a minute, Fred. Are you driving or flying?
Oh, I'm flying. I'm going in and out of Nashville, and I'll have to get it. I'll have to get the antenna past the TSA.
I was just going to say, that's going to be interesting.
Well, look at this. Let's see. Here we go. That's the antenna right there. And there we go. Now, it will break down. If you notice there, half midpoint, you see that brass in the mid there? It will unscrew. So the entire antenna right now is 60 inches from end to end. So if you take off, and that bottom piece, the metal right there will come off, that bottom mount part, it will come off. So if that's 10 inches, then the antenna is probably 50 inches. So if you put it in half, probably 25 inches, you might get by at 25 inches there to pack it. Now, I don't know if your suitcase is that big or not.
I have a large suitcase, and so I'm pretty sure that if I take it apart and take off the radials there, the ground radials, it ought to fit diagonally across my suitcase, no problem. But if not, if I can find a tube to take it in, or even just wrap it in paper, I can probably get it through as a carry-on. If they complain, I'll tell them it's a musical instrument.
Well, I tell you, I've got.
You're supposed to be able to take musical instruments on a plane.
I've got cardboard tubes, very very heavy duty cardboard tubes. I can saw one of them off to the exact length we need, like 25 inches, whatever, the minimum distance. I could, if you want me to, I'll bring it down in a cardboard tube. You won't be putting that cardboard tube in your suitcase because it's like 4-inch diameter. But I'll do that for you. I'll put it in a tube and make it minimum length. And if you have to, you can probably carry a 25 8-inch tube on board the plane.
Oh, like I said,
Yeah,
I'll tell them it's a
probably.
musical instrument. I
Yeah,
carried
and
I carried that huge antenna tuner home from Dayton, and I
Yeah.
put it in a big box that said Butterfinger candy on it, and everyone kept asking me if I was carrying a whole case of candy.
Yeah. Well, tell them it's a CPAP, a new CPAP machine or something
There
like
you go.
that. You know, and you get to carry that on free. They don't, that don't count as anything. A medical device like that. All right. What else is going on with you there?
Oh, well, I'm continuing to work on antennas. I'm working a little bit on improving my satellite reception because I got some SSTV images from the latest from the latest transmissions from the ISS, but they had a lot of static on them. They had a lot of hash, and so I'm working on getting a better antenna. Right now, I'm using a J-pole, which has a sort of pattern that's very 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 well focused horizontally, and that's great for talking to people in the area, but it really doesn't have much gain going upward. And so I'm looking at getting a separate antenna that goes overhead and switching to it when I'm trying to pick up satellites.
Well, okay, that'd be cool. And maybe in a little while you can talk to us a little about that. Give us a demo or
Yeah,
something. Okay, we'll do
yeah.
that.
Well, I can show you the software that I use, which is which is pretty much the standard for hams to do it. It's amazingly simple to set up the receiving part of it. It's really just how good your antenna is and how well you're able to hook your any VHF radio up to your computer to receive the signal.
Okay, well, very good. I see there's a hamfest coming up in Belton. I want to know where that is. Let's see. Okay. I just asked a question in the chat room. Okay, well, that's pretty good. What is that? What's the software you're using?
I'm using MMSSTV,
Oh, okay.
which is
Okay.
completely free software. It's sort of a BSD license kind of thing. Not even the GPL, which is really nice. Anyone can get the get the whole thing, or get the module that you can attach to other software. And it's a pretty nice program. It has a real time FFT display. It automatically decides what modulation scheme they're using to transmit, and it lets you archive things. You can make a gallery of what you receive, and so it's a fun program that way.
Well, that's cool. That's very good. Maybe you can give us a good insight to it here in a few minutes.
Oh yeah, I can even, and
Yeah.
the program even lets you simulate receiving something. So if you'd like, I can simulate receiving an image for you.
Okay, we'll do that in just a minute.
Very good.
Okay. Well, anything else going on there? Been
Not too
in,
much except getting ready for Huntsville. I'm getting my shopping list together because Huntsville has one of the best flea markets you'll find at at any hamfest, and just generally looking forward to it. We'll see how I do. I may do something like what you and Joe Eisenberg do. I may buy a bunch of raffle tickets this time and see if I win
oh
anything.
man, you're not going to compete against me and cause my chances to go down, are you?
Oh, I'm no way I'm real competition for you, but I might win something small.
Oh man. Well, I don't know. Okay. Well, we'll have fun. Whether we win or not, we're still going to have a lot of fun going there.
Oh yeah. And I'm looking forward to the banquet, which is going to be held at the Signal Museum, because I've never been there, and I'm interested in seeing what they have. I've been to the VOA Museum at Dayton, but I haven't been to the Signal Museum in Huntsville yet.
Okay. Cool. All right. So let's see. Why don't we go ahead? Well, let me tell you a little about what I've been doing the last couple of days. I'm tired too, man. Um, Let me see if I can bring you guys up here. Here we go. Man, I've been cleaning out my shop. I got a nice shop on the house here. It's a third garage, And I can do a lot of stuff in here. I've got plasma cutters, I've got welders, grinders, sandblast. I can do about anything in here, but man, it has really gotten junky over the past couple of years. I mean, it's gotten dirty and junky, and man, and I've started cleaning and throwing away and straightening up and dusting and putting everything in the right place. And man, I have worked 2 solid days, and I'm not finished yet. One area is taking me about, I don't know, hours and hours. And like I was telling Kathy, she said, "Well, how much you got left to do out there?" And I said, "Well, I got one more area to clean. It's about 5 foot long on one side there, And then after a whole day of work, well, how much you got left of that 5 foot? Well, I got about 3 foot left. Man, it was, yeah. Oh, gee. Anyway, I'm down to the pull-up door now, so I'm doing good. And hey, it's looking good out there. Now I do have some junk piled on a table in the center there. I got to figure out. That'll be the last thing I got to do is figure out what to do with that. But I'm getting there. Now, my next project, oh man, I dread it already. I'm getting a headache. I'm tired. My walk-in closet here has about 8 gazillion parts in it, and it's a mixture. Out of 8 gazillion parts, I probably have 4,000 Brazilian different kind of parts. Now, it's getting so bad in here, Glenn, when I walk in here to get something, like a coil or a transformer or something, as soon as I pick it up, 3 things fall in the floor. That's how bad.
Yep.
That's how bad it's getting. So I've got to organize it. I mean, I've got big boxes in there. I've got like a box that's probably 14 by 14 by 14 or something like that. It's just full of, your standard computer power cords. I don't need that many in here. If I had 3 or 4 in there, that's all I need in here. But I guess I could box the excess up and put them up in the attic or something. I sure don't want to throw something like that away.
Well, you know what I did? Let me get one and show you. Hang on.
Now, if you have too many, that's what eBay is for, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to sell individual cords. But I tell you, I buy a lot of stuff on eBay and for projects and things. That Bill, what do you got, Glenn? Oh,
I went
tubs.
to IKEA and got a bunch of these, and they're stackable.
Yeah.
And I've got a bunch up in the attic, and then I've got some in a little bookshelf here. But since they stack, they're really handy. And then in the garage, those small parts bit drawers that you can get from Harbor Freight and other places.
Yeah.
I've got a whole wall full, and I was trying to find a picture to email you, but I've got a whole wall full of those in the garage. So all of my small parts are there. And then I have some tackle boxes, the plastic tackle boxes back in the workroom that have the stuff that I use on a regular basis. So I've got 5 or 6 tackle boxes with my Arduinos and commonly used parts in there. And that's really helped me organize and everything. Yeah, well, I'm gonna organize. Now Kathy will come in here and help me, and she'll really organize it, but man, I don't know what to say when she gets in here and starts organizing my stuff in that closet, man. What's this? Throw it away. What's this? Throw it away. What's it? Trash can. Man. That's what took me so long to get organized and unpacked, was getting all that stuff, because when I moved, I literally just threw everything in boxes and sorted out on this end.
Yeah.
And it took me forever to get sorted out, but now everything's in those boxes. And if I need, like you were saying, if I need some wall warts, I've got a box up in the attic just nothing but power adapters. And so I can go upstairs, root through that, grab what I need, and it takes me 5 minutes.
At least you only have one. Because I run a wireless internet provider, I have different bins for each voltage. Because I have to keep them around. Power supplies are the part that fails the most of all the parts that we have.
Oh yeah.
But actually, there are two of those bins up there. But yeah. But I mean, I finally got it all organized. That was half of the battle with the move. And everything's really functional now. I'm still tweaking in the workroom, but I'm able to get to stuff, build stuff, find stuff much quicker than before.
That's great.
All right.
Tom, you've got IKEA just down the street from you, so you could go there and get these bins. They come in all sizes.
I don't have room for bins, man. I got too much junk in here. See, here's the problem. I've got 4,000 Brazilian different kind of parts. So I need at least 4,000 bins, you know. And Kathy thinks I should, I don't know, if I sort it out by, here's the problem, man. I got too many variations of stuff that I need to organize. So I have to put a lot of different things sometimes in the same box. Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah.
And that's what those smaller parts bins are for, is you have 40 drawers in each bin.
Yeah.
And I have 3 rows of at least 6 bins a row. So that's what, 240 bins per row. And I've got 720 of those small parts bins right out in the garage.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you get one part that doesn't fit.
The hardest part, yes. And the hardest part is finding them amongst the hundreds of labels that I have up there.
No. You know, the hardest thing for me, though, is organizing parts that fall into more than one category at the same time. Like, I have a lot of adapters that adapt one kind of cable connector to another kind of cable connector. Mm-hmm. Like, it'll have an N male on one side and an SMA male on the other side. And then I'll have some that are N male to SMA female, and so it goes.
Yep.
And so the question is, if I have a box of SMA connectors and I have a box of N connectors or N adapters, which one do I put it in? Either way, either way, I have to hunt through the box to find the one I want. So that's sometimes a challenge.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
We all have those.
Yeah, man.
But
the part I need is usually in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very bottom.
Oh, yeah. It's always at the bottom, man. Yeah. And you know what? Usually, if you're looking for something, you usually always find it at the last place you looked.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then have you noticed that even after you find it, you're still looking for it? If it's one of those things that's almost disappeared and you do find it, for the next 3 days, you're looking. Every time you look, you're like, is it here? And no, I found it. Never mind. So, I do that all the time. What's he digging up now?
Oh, boy. Listen for the loud crash.
Yeah. Yeah, Brett, right. Get ready to carry the show.
So hey, this comes in handy when you're looking for a part. Let's see if I can put a different camera on here. Let's see. I gotta do this. Man, I gotta organize these cameras somehow. There we go. All right. If I need a certain connector, you need one of these. You need one of these, and this is getting all chunked up. But these screw together and make any type connector you want. For instance, there's a BNC on that end, and I don't know, maybe SNA or something there. But so you can take them apart, and you got a coupling in the center here that you screw in, and you could put like I don't know, an end connector. So we can make an end connector to a SMA. So we just screw that together like this. Now we have a end connector to SMA. So this is pretty cool.
Yeah, is that the RFI kit?
This is RF Industries. RF Industries, yeah.
Yep.
I think some of my adapters here are probably in that jar that I just showed you. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, they.
Hey Tom, I've got a picture of my bins up on the screen share.
Okay, let me look at that. Let me zip that up. Okay. So this is pretty handy to have, especially if you're looking for that special connector. Here we go. All right. All right. There it is right there.
You can see the stackable bins there on the left.
Now I got a question for you. I know you're not, like 7 feet tall. So
yeah.
What happens here, man?
Looks like there's a step
stool. You see the little step ladder?
Am I seeing that?
Oh yeah. I see that, man.
That's for short people.
All right. Well, you need to get you one of those ladders. Get you a ladder like you have at the library, that kind of rolls,
Yeah. Actually, below them now, I have the trays. They're pop-out trays that you can get at Harbor Freight as well. They're open. They don't move or anything. They're in the wall, and you can pop the tray out. And that's where I've got all of my hardware and large stuff that I need to get to.
All right. So have you got all that stuff there in alphabetical order? How do you know where the drawer is that you need?
It's usually by function. Everything, the three on the bottom right are Arduino related parts.
Okay.
And then the fourth has Arduino sensors, and then the left two are, actually the left three are capacitors and resistors. And then the next row up on the far left is Arduino sensors. And then on the top is things that I don't use regularly. But things that I want to have, like dip relays, stuff of that nature, servos, stepper motors, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But that's kind of how I'm organized here. And then that and the totes, and I'm pretty much set.
Okay. Well, looking good there. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break here, and then Brett, let's let you do a little demonstration of your facsimile there. All right, we'll be right back, guys. ICOM's IC7760 is a pinnacle of base station excellence for amateur radio enthusiasts. Designed to deliver unmatched performance, the IC7760 features state-of-the-art technology, exceptional RF clarity, and an intuitive interface, all housed in a sleek and durable design. This base station features a separate remote control head and RF deck, providing enhanced flexibility for installation. Place the RF deck closer to the antenna feed point, freeing up space on your desk. You can also connect the control head to the RF deck through your home network, enabling remote operation from anywhere in your home without needing a PC. Pair the IC7760 with a powerful IC-PW2 linear amplifier and take your contesting experience to the next level with ICOM's industry-first linear amplifier. Together, they redefine what's possible in amateur radio. For more information about ICOM's amateur radios, please visit icomamerica.com/amateur. All right, we are back, and Brett, let's talk about the facsimile there. I need to get into something like that. I've got several things to do. I want to do EME. I want to get my remote base set back up. I want to do the thing that you're going to show us here in just a minute. The facsimile. Man, there's so much to do. So let's jump into it and let's see how it works, man. Take it. All right, you're muted.
And there we are. Okay, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm setting up to show the screen. So there we go. Now I'm unmuted. I should be able to do this. Okay. Now, every now and then, the International Space Station, the ISS, sends pictures down from space, and very often they're of the astronauts. Sometimes they're commemorative photos of various kinds. It's a lot of fun, and all you really need to do is, in order to pick them up, is know when the ISS is going to pass overhead in your area, and set up an ordinary VHF radio. Just even an HT will do. An SDR will do, or if you have a base station in your home, that will do. And you can receive the signals. Now, Tom was talking about them as these signals as if they were facsimile. And while slow scan TV is a lot like a fax, as a matter of fact, it sounds a lot like a fax. It gives you a TV picture, but it takes 60 to 120 seconds to do it. And so what you're getting is sent over a very primitive sort of modem that doesn't require a real good reception for you to get the signal, and often you can get a perfect or near perfect picture even though it's being sent from up in space. So I'm going to show you the software that I use to do this. Here we are. This is a piece of software called MMSSTV, and this is available for free. The way you get it is you go to hamsoft.ca, and you can just download it absolutely free. So it's it doesn't cost anything to download. It works on Windows, and it really just sort of works. Most of the defaults that you're going to have on the program are already set up. The main thing you'll need to set up is your radio and your antenna. You'll need to have a VHF radio. You don't need to transmit to receive these pictures. You just need to be able to receive. You need to be able to set it to 145.8 megahertz. That's the frequency that the ISS will transmit this sort of content on. And there is a Doppler shift when the ISS first appears over the horizon. It's coming towards you, and so it's at a slightly higher frequency. And when it goes down over the horizon and disappears, then it's at a slightly lower one. But you don't really need to compensate that much because of what's called the capture effect. An FM receiver will lock in on something that's slightly off of frequency and adapt to it. And so you really don't have to worry too much about that with most receivers in order to do it. Make sure you set the receiver to a wide channel, and then you have the best chance of not having to adapt for a Doppler shift. Now, this is the MSSSTV software here. And what you do is go ahead and get a little sound card, or just use the sound jack on the existing sound jack on your computer, and plug in an audio cable from the headphone jack on your on your receiver into the line input on your computer. And you'll start to see, if you set up the software and you plugged it in, and all the levels are right, you will see a display sort of like what I've got the mouse cursor pointing to here. You'll see a Fourier transform which shows you the frequencies that it's receiving. And turn off the squelch on your radio, because you don't really need squelch for this, and you're going to see noise, and that's fine. That's what you're supposed to see. At least when there's nothing overhead. and set it so that the noise goes up maybe a quarter of the way up of the on this signal strength display here. Now, the way you do that is you go, at least on Windows, is you go into the Windows sound settings, and you look for the recording level, and you set it until it matches this, until again it's about a quarter of the way up, and then you know that you're in good shape. You know that when your receiver locks in, chances are the level's going to be pretty close to right. You can tweak it later, and you want to make sure also if for some reason you don't get a display that looks like it's coming, it's just radio noise from the radio. What you do is you go to the options for the program and set them up. Make sure that you select the sound card as being the sound card that you've plugged into. So when you're all ready to do that and you've got your antenna, if you have just a regular omnidirectional antenna, you really don't have to point it, because when the when the ISS comes over, you'll be fine. If you have a more directional antenna like I do, I have a J-pole, you may find that it works, it has very good reception to the sides, but not such good reception when the ISS is directly overhead. If you have that sort of a situation, you may want to switch antennas. You may want to go to, say, a Yagi that's pointed at the sky, or ideally that's pointed at the peak of the orbit. But in any case, what will happen when when the ISS comes overhead and you're monitoring that signal, you're going to start getting sound that sounds like this. And again, it's going to sound like a fax machine. And I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate what it sounds like right here. You'll be able to hear it, and you'll be able to see the picture come in. You see that sound? You hear that sounds like a fax machine.
Yeah, very similar.
And each one of those chirps that begins with a high frequency is a line of the image. And this image is actually coming through my speakers and going back into my microphone, and then being received by the program. So it's not going to be perfect, because my voice is going to distort it ever so slightly, but mostly it's going to come in nice and clean.
This is actually one of the reasons that I upgraded to advanced years ago, is I wanted to play with slow scan.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You don't need any license at all to receive it, but of course to transmit you do. So as you can see, the picture of this shack is coming in. It looks pretty good. And then when it gets to the bottom,
that's really cool. Yeah, you can actually hear the tone shift as it's doing the different colors.
Yep. It sounds like a modem because it is one.
Yeah.
And there you go. The whole thing is in now. And then if you want to save it, you go over here, you can pull down a menu, you can say copy, and then you can say paste, and you can paste it into this gallery of things that you've received. And so there you have it. You got you can save the gallery of images that you've successfully received from wherever you're wherever you're monitoring. Now, this isn't limited to VHF. You can obviously do this on HF as well. The ISS transmits on VHF, which is nice because pretty much every ham starts out with a VHF transceiver, since you can use that as a technician. But yes, if you want to transmit, the program can do that too. It has settings for that. Lets you transmit a CQ message, or any image that you'd like to. There are places in the bands that are reserved for that. and people take advantage. People take advantage of that. They'll listen for someone to start transmitting and tune in with again with this program and just start receiving it. So anyway, those are the basics. There are a lot of subtleties to it, a lot of intricate settings that you can use on on some of the software to transmit to receive things better, or if you want to transmit in a particular format. But essentially, this is what you need to know in order to start receiving things. And then once you get excited, of course, you can about it. If you want to do more, you certainly can. So let me go back to. There we are. Let me go back to my regular image. So anyway, that's just a quick overview of how you receive satellite pictures. And again, I've been receiving them from the ISS. There are pictures which show all of the astronauts floating together in the ISS. And again, there are various commemorative images. If you want to find out when they're happening, go to the IRISS webpage, amateur radio on the ISS. Of course, that's what it stands for. And you can find out when they're transmitting images. They usually do it for several days, and when you want to, if you want to find out when the ISS is going to pass overhead for you, there's a very good website that a lot of hams use called heavens-above.com that you can use to look for ISS passes. And it's a very handy site because it has the ability to tell you when the ISS is passing over during the daytime when it's not visible. So even though you can't see it, you can pick up the signals from it when it passes overhead. And so what I will do when I know that there are signals being transmitted is I will print out the list of passes. And when I see one that's about maybe the highest point in the pass is maybe 50 or 60 degrees above the horizon, that's the one I will shoot for and try to receive, because my vertically polarized antenna will receive that the best. If it gets too much farther overhead, again, it will actually tune it out. If I go ahead and create the antenna that I want to create, which is probably going to be just a just a 2-element Yagi, just a driven element and a reflector, I should be able to point it at the highest point of the pass, or where it's going to be, and then it will receive everything as the ISS comes over the horizon and transmits, and then passes again over the horizon at the other side. So that's really about it. There's so much to this, but that's the overview that will get you started.
Have you looked into doing an egg beater antenna?
I've thought about doing various kinds of antennas, and it seems to me that the best kind of antenna is one that has sort of like an airplane pillow shape in terms of gain. You want it when the ISS is near the horizon, it's farther away from you, and the signal isn't as good. So you want the gain on the sides of the pattern. So you want your pattern to kind of go like that, and in the middle, not necessarily have as much gain in the middle. And there are a couple of different things that are good for that. You can just use a dipole. You can make a Yagi with the reflector. You're not picking up any signals from behind the antenna. Yes?
Yeah, I had a pair of, one for 440 and one for 2 meters of homebrew egg beaters using PVC and solid core, 14 whatever gauge wire, 12 gauge wire, forming the egg beater loops. And that's what I used to receive the shuttle when I was listening to Colonel Wheelock way back when. Another thing, that MMSSTV program has a counterpart as well called MMTTY that lets you do the same thing for radio teletype. And I think it comes from the same guy.
All right, guys, you got me thinking. I got something that I uncovered in the garage regarding the antenna that Glenn just talked about. You guys carry on. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get it.
Okay.
Yeah, there was one more thing I had to contribute here, and it's in one ear and out the other. But yeah, oh, and that's they're on 14230 on 2 meters with most of their slow scan, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. And by the way, that frequency, when it's not being used for slow scan TV, is often being used for a crossband repeater. And
Yeah.
so sometimes
Now,
you can
here's
have some
another
fun
thing.
bouncing off the ISS, going because they have a UHF and VHF crossband repeater, and you can use that to contact hams who can see the space station at the same time that you can.
Yeah. Now, here's a funny little story I've got with the ISS. Again, this is probably about 10 years ago. I was in Helena, Arkansas, doing a club presentation, and I had brought my little handheld satellite tracker model that was in my first Arduino book, and I had it set to track the International Space Station. So we had it all set up. I'm doing the presentation. All of a sudden, it became active and started tracking. And I had it battery powered, so we all ran out of the building, out into the parking lot, looked up, and it absolutely tracked the ISS. Just absolutely perfect going overhead. Beautiful, beautiful pass. That was just really cool.
Yeah.
And that project was in my first book, and I believe it's in my most recent book as well, but it's going to be revisited again soon. All right, Tom, what have you done?
All right. Well, you were talking about an egg beater. I build a lot of things and I never use them.
Yep.
All right. Let me show you what I got here. Oh, you're not seeing it all.
Yep.
Let's see if I can. You can't even see the elements.
No, your color keying is kicking out the elements.
There we go.
Now we can see them.
That's better.
That's for 440?
Yeah, and I've got a 440 amplifier in here at the antenna.
Oh.
So, got your little ground plane here, and you got your egg beater stuff here on the top. Number 14 wire. Yep, I can't even give it away. I don't know.
Yeah, I had a pair of those on my roof years ago.
Yeah, it's so easy to build this stuff. It's really easy.
That's actually the only lightning damage that I have ever had was lightning hit one of my egg beaters. Fortunately, it was not connected to anything and blew the little PVC cap right off the top of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But I went up there and I'm like, I was taking it down and the cap literally was cracked and just charred and everything. And I'm like, good grief. And yeah, got it down. And then sure enough, it had been hit by lightning. And thankfully it was disconnected. Nothing got hurt. Yeah, Tom, Chris says to tell us about the amp you put on that antenna.
I don't think I built it. It was just a little 440 amp that I probably bought off the internet and just mounted it at the antenna. Real simple. I mean, you can buy amps like that for almost nothing now.
Yeah.
That are not in an enclosure. I mean, just the board and the amp. So.
Yeah, I was prowling Amazon the other day, and do you realize that they are now selling that CW Pixie kit?
I think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Those things are still around, still popular.
I had one or two. I tore mine up just to get the crystal out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I sent you a crystal or two from mine.
Yeah. What did we do? Was that the potato transmitter that we were doing? I can't remember.
Think so. It was one of the ones you were doing, and I had converted my Pixies to of DDS Arduino power, so I didn't need the crystals, and I gave them to you.
Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. It was the that little QRP transmitter we built to match that little bitty receiver I bought. If you remember that little receiver, I was gonna match the two up, but I don't know. Didn't have much luck with it. But hey, for you guys that didn't see it, probably 2 years ago, we built a transmitter and powered it by, I don't know, 6 potatoes, I think. And we transmitted CW using 6 potatoes. So we got that on video on one of our shows.
CW potato gun?
Well, it wasn't a gun. Yeah. It wasn't a gun. It was a potato-powered transmitter.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. By the way, I do have one more screen to show people if they're interested.
All right, let's look at it. What do you got there?
This is what heavensabove.com looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone ahead and logged in and clicked on the ISS, so you can see this. And this shows all the passes of ISS that are going to come over me in Laramie, Wyoming in the next several days. And you can see here's the column you really want to look at, which says here is the apogee. Here's the highest point over us. And you can see that some of the passes don't get very high in the sky. 12 degrees. Here's a nice one, 79 degrees. That's pretty high up. 19 degrees. Now you probably won't get much of an image from that if they're sending SSTV. 43 degrees, going to be pretty good. 58, also probably pretty good with your just your standard antenna. And so you can see when there's a good time to set up to receive things, and they'll take you out a week so that you can see all the passes that are going to occur. Now on the right-hand column, it says whether it's going to happen in daylight or whether it's going to happen at night when it's visible. And you can see that right now in Laramie, we're not going to have much luck seeing the ISS. All of these passes are happening during the day. So it'll be great for radio, won't be so great for viewing.
Yeah, I was going to question that because I'm like, darn, that's nothing but daylight passes. I thought maybe you had a filter.
Yep, as a matter of fact, if you go ahead and you click on visible passes only, which you can do on this, it'll refresh the page, and there aren't any.
Yeah.
So at least from now until the middle of the month, there just aren't going to be any times when you can see the ISS in our town. Maybe somewhere else, but not here. But you sure will be able to get radio signals from it, and that's the important thing. If you want to use the crossband repeater, if you want to receive SSTV, anything like that.
That's very cool.
All right. Oh, let's see. What do we got going here now? That was a good. Hey, thanks for showing that. Enjoyed it. We'll have to try it. There's another software I wanted to try this week, but I was too tied up in my garage cleaning. And that is MMAMA-GAL. MMAMA-GAL. I don't know if anyone of you familiar with that? MMAMA-GAL.
What does it do?
Not familiar with it, no.
Well, it's a simple antenna modeling software. It's supposedly a lot simpler. The what is it? The NEC model that people use. That thing is so complicated. I've never learned how to use it, man. This one, they claimed it was so simple, and I've looked at some videos, and they still lose me a few minutes in. I guess my age, I just can't keep watching it. I get, distracted with maybe a popcorn or a peanut butter sandwich or something. But you ought to, I'd like to learn how to use it, because I mean it shows you all your takeoff angles, and it shows your patterns just like the other one did, but it's supposed to be much simpler. So, and it's free. There's two versions, the free and the paid. So it's called MMAMA Mama dash GAL Golf Alpha Lima, and I really want to try to master that, because I'm doing so much playing with antennas now. I would like to see the difference between, my antenna out here mounted at ground level versus mounted at 10 foot off the ground, and things like that. Maybe a quarter wave versus a half wave, and look at the differences. So somebody, maybe Brett there, Brett's pretty intellectual there. Maybe he can figure out how to use Mama. So why don't you guys take a look at it and put me to shame, because so far I haven't figured it out yet. But
do they give you any sample models to try?
I think so. And also if you go to YouTube, there are so many YouTube videos on how to use it, and I tried to follow a couple of them through, just setting up a simple dipole, and you're looking at this thing three-dimensional, your XYZ axis and all that, and you can move it around on the screen, and you just kind of got to know what all the buttons do. They got little icons on there, so once you figure it out, it might be okay. But there's a lot of training and a lot of demo videos on there, so we need to do that. I'd really like to do that, and if I can't do it, maybe I can give one of you guys the information on my antenna, and you can model it for me. All right.
Good try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've struggled with the NEC software too, so maybe this would be easier.
Yeah, well, give it a try. I mean, it's supposed to be very simple, and I'm a pretty simple guy, but it's not working yet for me, Yeah.
Okay, Brett, your mission, should you decide to accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, why not? I like a challenge.
Yeah, I actually scribbled a note about it too, so
Yeah.
if I get a chance, I'll look at it as well.
That's from Mission Impossible, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What's the A-Team? The A-Team doesn't have a saying like it, do they?
They were a crack unit
Yeah.
of veterans that were framed and put in prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you need help, call the A-Team.
All right. That reminds me, the A-Team. I think that's a tree company I'm going to use. I've got to take down a big tree in the front yard, probably in the next week or so. I had them out here looking at it. It's getting, one of the roots are starting to get rotten down at the bottom, and I'm afraid it's going to fall over. So, the tree is only about 70 feet high, so, it should come down pretty good. And then I got one out there.
It's right in the middle of your backyard, right?
It's in the front yard, actually.
Oh.
And I think the way it's leaning a little bit and the way the roots are rotting off one side, it probably will go on my neighbor's house. Part of my neighbor's house. Now, 2 trees down to the east, down my fence line, I got one that's leaning about, I don't know, 25 degrees. I don't know, man. I'm afraid it's going to fall over. And so they're going to come out and they're going to kind of trim it and balance it. The roots look good, so they're going to probably take a couple, big limbs off one side, balance it up a little bit. I've got some dead ones in the back they're going to take down, and then, I've got all my antennas in all those trees back there.
Yeah.
I've got my extended ZEP up there. I got my Delta Loop. Everything is up there. And I think my ropes are actually grown into the tree limb. So anyway, when they get over here, I'm just going to say, just let's try not to break the wire. If you want to cut the rope, you can cut the rope. They're probably going to take those limbs off. But what I'm going to do, I got some eye bolts, and when they do that and cut out those limbs and stuff up there, I'm going to have them screw me an eye bolt in under a big limb up there. Their bucket truck, they got a bucket truck that they go up to about 150 feet.
Wow.
And you know, I'd like them to go up. I'd like them to go up around 100 feet. Put me an eye bolt in there, and I'm just going to put me a rope in it, and drop it down, and tie it in a loop. You know, if you don't tie it in a loop, and you let one side go, you might lose your rope. So I like putting a loop on there, and that way I can still tie the antenna to it and pull it up, pull it down. But if I could put it in a big eye bolt, it's not going to grow into the tree, you know, until the eye bolt grows into the tree. But that'll be probably more years than I'm around. So, the
bark can swallow the eye bolt. I've seen that happen.
Yeah, I've got some big trees out here where I screwed eye bolts in, say at 4 feet off the ground, just to tie off, you know, strings and ropes. And several of them have actually grown now into the circle of the eye bolt, and it's starting to close up on me there. So these eye bolts are like, I don't know, they're like 3.5 inches long. They're pretty good eye bolts. If they leave it sticking out, you know, an inch or inch and a half, it'll probably go for a long time. So anyway, I've got to look forward to that coming up real soon. So I'm going to have antennas all messed up here for a while, but that's okay. I'm not real active right now. I do more building and experimenting and stuff, and you know, that's what I like to do. But I'm going to start. I'm going to try to start getting on the air more and playing with these antennas that I.
That's me. As I'm working too much, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
So I want to play more.
Yeah, you know.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of antenna do you want to use for EME?
Well, I've got a the Yaesu rotor out there that does azimuth elevation, and I've got it on. I've got a flat roof on the back of the house that's over a porch, and up on top of that flat roof, I have a tripod that I welded together, and the antennas are they're probably about 10 feet. I had to put them about 10 feet off the top of the roof, because when you aim them straight up, you know, the back of the antenna will hit the roof. So anyway, I've got, I think they're 22 element. I got UHF, VHF. They're the cross. I don't know. I forget who makes them. Somebody gave them to me. It's the cross, you know, elements, the vertical and horizontal. And I even have a switch. I have even a switch in here where I can flip the polarity on them. So I've got that out there, and it works fine for satellite. Now I do have a lot of trees around me, so that does attenuate the signal some. Of course, in the winter, no leaves, so that's pretty good. I'm completely clear to the west, and I'm clear to straight up. But you know, I can still work satellites through the trees. I want to do the EME with them, and what I did, and I've taken it off now, I mounted a camera on the boom of one of the antennas and aimed it right down the antenna elements like a rifle, you know, the scope, or the well, what do you call it?
Gun sight.
The gun sight, you know, down the sight. So I could actually watch on a little monitor here, and I could move the antenna out there where the camera showed me straight down the sight, where if I was aimed at the moon or not aimed at the moon. You know, I do have programs that tell me if I'm aimed at the moon, but you just don't know how accurate they are, you know. And one thing I've learned about EME and reading it, of course, I'll have to use digital mode because I'm low power. And the signals are best down low toward the horizon. Somehow, and I've read where, you know, shooting at signal at low elevation, you get some gain. I don't know if the Earth does that or what happens there. But anyway, I I'm gonna. I want to get back in and try it again, and you know what? I could probably do it right now and just listen. Maybe not try to transmit, but just like when you monitor your slow scan there, I could monitor for EME signals with the program. I think is it JT65? I think is what they use for satellite. I mean for EME. So I could probably listen. I could probably listen and copy some EME. So, and I think the program, what's it called?
JT65HF?
Well,
No.
the big WSJT.
There are a lot of programs. You could use FLDigi, for example.
Yeah, but WSJT-X or whatever, I think, it has all the different programs in there. And it does have JT65, but I think on that one you can put it in the mode where the echo mode, where you actually possibly can set it in the echo mode where you can hear it come back to you. So that might be interesting to play with. So that if I just get my area cleaned off over there, I might try to receive. That would be fun to see if I could just receive some EME. And then I'd work on transmitting EME, maybe I put a couple. You may also be able to do just
CW, which of course just, you wouldn't have to use any special software for.
Yeah, even CW, because your digital modes, that is so far down in the mud, it copies signals that you don't even hear. So I think even CW would be a stretch. There's about 250 dB loss, path loss. That's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is.
All right.
So, real slow FSK does work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing how Whisper works. It'll copy, and a Whisper transmission takes 2 minutes, and the baud rate's about 4 baud. It's about 11 characters or something over 2 minutes, and it's just amazing how it pulls that through without a static crash or something in that period. Wiping out something. It's pretty solid copy. So
I am, especially around Christmas when we have all these LED lights creating QRM. The best mode to operate on in town is going to be is things like FT8, because that'll cut through the noise. Just nice slow tones rather than rather than voice, rather than something fancier.
Yeah, that's I worked a little FT8. I wanted to try it and see how it worked. I made some contacts with it. I even downloaded the software for the I forget what it's called, but it gives you FT8, the automatic version, which will make contacts for you, and you don't have to initiate the contact each time like you do with regular FT8. But I never got it to work here. It was a beta, and I think it'd be cool. Put FT8 on there that's automatic. You leave it on all day. You come back and you've worked 250 countries.
Yeah, that's cheating in my book, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it may be. Yeah, may be cheating.
It's not really. It's not really a QSO, but it's more like contacting a machine. But there are programs like WSJT-Z instead of -X, which are intentionally set up to do that. There are add-ons for the original WSJT-X that do it.
I think that's the one I was talking about. I think it includes. I think it includes the FT8. Yeah, that's the automatic one, the -Z, I think.
Yeah, the -Z had some bugs in it and was crashing my machine and not logging properly. But I did try it out, and yes, it would make completely automatic contacts.
Yeah, that would be really cool, man. You know, I can make contacts while I'm sleeping or on vacation or anywhere, man. Eating, you know.
Yeah, get the DXCC and you didn't even have to wake up.
I could probably get DXCC in maybe 3 days, you know, something like that. Hey,
I mean,
you know,
one of the best things about those enhanced versions, though, is that they will do things like look up someone's call and tell you where they are, and maybe even bring up their information from the QRZ website while you're contacting them, and that's really cool. They also get rid of the tedium of logging because, well, all versions of WSJTX, will log your QSOs automatically. And I find, I don't know, I find logging to be, a distraction from actually contacting people. So I like the fact that it does it automatically.
Yeah, I don't hardly log anything anymore. Used to in the olden days, I was just looking at some old logs I've got. Anytime we transmitted, we had to log it. And I've got entries, 203, I called CQ on, 3750, no answer. That had to be in a log.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even test transmissions.
Yeah. So I'm thinking to get active again, there's a lot of DX stations, man, a lot of DXpeditions, not stations, but DXpeditions. I'm thinking, I might just try to start working these DXpeditions again. It's fairly easy to work them, but you can pull up there are several websites that list the activity of the DXpedition. They tell the frequency and so forth. You can tune right there and find them, and then of course you got to get the signal through with either your power, your antenna, or whatever. And good operating procedures is most important to make that contact. The Herd Island was a pretty rare DXpedition down Herd Island, wherever it is. I think that's off the coast of Antarctica, down here somewhere. Anyway, in fact, we had them on the show. In fact, our show, we had them on every Tuesday night on our show for 3 weeks. And by satellite phone, we brought them into, and they'd go outside there, and we could see the volcano in the background, and I guess there were penguins, and we actually did a live video interview with them for 3 weeks. But anyway, they were on, I forget, some band, and I didn't have an antenna up for that band, and so I thought, well, I'm going to put something together real quick. And I don't even remember what it was. It may have been it may have, I don't know what it was, but I threw something together real quick out back, pulled it up in a tree right there, and came in, and I worked them. So that's pretty good. I've got something I want to show you. Let me get it.
Okay. Yeah, busting through pileups in order to get those rare stations is another art form there. Do you call? Do you try to call early? Do you call late? How do you distinguish yourself and get yourself heard? It can vary from depending on the station. You have to try all sorts of things.
All right, so I've got some here. I think it's pretty unique. This is the Herd Island. I was kind of tied in with them, and this guy is a pretty good known artist. And let me give you a picture. Well, he drew a picture here. I want to show you where we rate. Let me go to this. All right. This is Herd Island. Do you see the VK0EK? And you're all getting soup. They're lined up to get soup here because it's real cold. And look who's first in line.
Aha. Yep.
What I love is that's a cartoon by Jeff, K1NSS. I love his stuff.
Well, this is Jeff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a cartoon done by Jeff. I love it. I love his stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
And let's see who else we got in here. There's Katie.
Oh, there's
Katie's second. She's second line. WI7YL.
She is. Yeah.
And then. Oh wait, let me.
K2HAT.
A7MAT is third.
HAT,
I think.
Yeah, K2HAT.
I can't get it to focus real good.
Then K7HV, W7EIR, Lima Bravo 8 Delta Charlie, AJ9 Charlie.
These are
LB1GB, KA9 Fox, K9CT. Yep.
So these are people that actually worked on. You can see the Quonset huts there, the tents, and the snow. And let's see. Well, you don't see the volcano in this picture, but there we are, Heaven Soup right there. And we were lucky. Katie and I were lucky to be number 1 and number 2 there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I always wanted Jeff to do a QSL card for me and just never got around to it. And now he's retired and not doing them anymore. And now that I'm in the new house, I need new QSL cards.
All right.
Uh-oh, we're seeing Tom's super secret notes there. Did you see across the top where it said top secret?
Did it say top secret?
No. Yeah, now it does.
What do you mean it does?
You just scribbled a note. There you go.
How do you know I did that? You must have.
All right.
I didn't have the camera on it. Let's see.
Let me explain something to you.
Yeah, let's see.
For years, I showed cats, and I have learned how to read upside down.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're watching the judge write down numbers, and you can learn how your cat plays by reading what he's writing. And I did that for years and years and years.
You'd be good in Las Vegas.
No
you know?
comment.
Yeah, you'd be good in Las Vegas here. All right.
Accused of counting cards.
All right, guys. Well, hey, we got about 9 minutes left before we're going to sign off here today. And I did want to talk about, I've got several different antenna analyzers here, and I have a number of different spectrum analyzers, and the spectrum analyzer is probably my favorite piece of test equipment. I like playing with it and learning with it. But a few years ago, I ordered, while I was talking about spectrum analyzer, let me show you what I got here. First of all, let me go back here. Spectrum analyzers aren't cheap for the most part, and so I've had several spectrum analyzers. Hey, here's one that you can buy off of eBay, and look at there. They've got actually end connectors on there now instead of the SMA. That's pretty cool. So you can get it with end connectors on there. That's about $100, I think. Nano VNA.
Nano VNA.
Yeah. Here's a spectrum analyzer. Here's a spectrum analyzer I have today. That's the Rigo 815, It's pricey. It's about $1,000, but man, I love it. You know,
It's still a lot less than Huber and Sinner.
now here's another spectrum analyzer I have from IFR, and it's a pretty cool, but I don't really use it anymore. And then I had, let's see, that one. Well, I had another one. That I obtained. It was an IFR 2975, and I didn't pay this, but the initial price on it, and it was a late model spectrum analyzer. It was $15,000, and I used it, and I loved it, and it started going bad on me. Nobody out there really fixes it. I could have sent it back to the IFR company. I think they're in England, and it would have probably cost thousands of dollars to fix it. So I decided just to go with that Regal. I decided to go with the Regal wherever it was. It was right here. No, right here. There it is. So, but anyway, there is a good alternative where you don't have to spend that money, and that is right here. This is a tiny SA spectrum analyzer right here, USB charging, and it's got SMA connectors. It's kind of a small screen. It's USB charged, and
Yep.
It's
Does it come with calibration adapters? Usually they come with dummy loads.
yeah. Well, it came with attenuators. It came with like a 20 dB and a 10 dB attenuator.
That's
there's
useful.
there's really no calibration for it. I don't think. Now that's so small. I didn't even make an effort to use it. So that's been sitting over there a couple years, probably 3 years. Now let's talk antenna analyzers. I've got the Comet CAA 500, which is a nice analyzer. I've got several of the MFJ antenna analyzers, but even those are going to cost you a few hundred, $200, $300, $400. But there is the Nano V&A you can get out there pretty cheap. And I think you can get this for about, I don't know, anywhere from $45 up probably. But it's the Nano V&A. Here's your button here and to move things. Your on off, and it charges USB. And you got your channel 0 and your channel 1, which is your S21 and S11. I don't really understand that. It came with various cables to connect, and it did come with the calibration. You can calibrate it. You can calibrate it with these screw-ons here. One is an open, one is a short, and one of them is a 50 ohm, and you calibrate it. And then you've got the cables here that you can use with adapters on the end to connect different things. Now, people think you have to calibrate this every time you use it. You do not have to. You can save the calibration in one of the memory spots, and I just learned that today in looking at this. The problem is this thing is so complicated for me. There are so many screens that I have to toggle through the matrix to go to this screen, and it breaks off into maybe 2 other screens, and then you have to know when to hit the back button to go back to do something else, and it just seemed really complicated for me to use. Now I know some of you guys use this, and probably if I would learn to use it for basic things like SWR and so forth, and learn that sequence, I'd probably be okay. But again, I've got other meters that are much easier to work. I'm going to try to learn how to use this maybe over the next week or so. We'll talk about it on the show. But again, this gives you the Smith chart. You'll be able to see all your reactants and different things, and you can move the cursor around. You can do line sweeps. You can do a loss. You can do coax loss. You can do all sorts of things with it. But I can't because I don't know how to work it. It just seems a little complicated for me. So anyway, and this
well, the big advantage there is it's battery powered versus your wall powered other spectrum analyzers and antenna analyzers.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see you use that one, and because a lot of people are getting the nano VNAs.
Yeah. And like I say, there are different models. They're even coming out now with N connectors on there instead of the SMA.
Yeah.
Which I thought are pretty big. You know, they have two big N connectors on something small like that. You know, I don't know, but I hate these little SMA connectors.
No. Yeah, I've never been a fan of SMA.
Yeah, well,
but
they're just
the alternative.
They're just different, you know.
My favorites are the N connectors. They just work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're not.
I think
an
I'd rather
259 or 23 or you know, they're a PL 259 or an SL 239, which is they're glorified banana plugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I think I'd rather build an N than a UHF connector.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they're a little harder, but once you get them, you're done, and you'll never touch it again.
Yeah.
No.
Oh well. All right. I saw something up at a hamfest. What was that?
Yeah, Brett had a hamfest up.
Yes, this is where I'm going to go the week after Huntsville. There's a,
nice.
and I guess it's cropped a little bit here, so we might need to go full screen to see it. On Sunday, August 24th, in the area just outside of Denver, near the Denver International Airport, there is going to be a summer swap fest. This is the Rocky Mountain Radio Club, and they do the best swap in the region, in the Rocky Mountain region. And they do it on a Sunday morning, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. And this is a great event. If you happen to be in this region, I definitely recommend it. If you're a pilot, you can fly into the airport and then get there very quickly.
All right, well, very good. That looks like it's going to be a good hamfest. And don't forget, guys. Don't forget Huntsville coming up. We'll get a lot of video and a lot of pictures, and we'll bring it to you the Tuesday after the show. Now Huntsville is not this weekend, but the next weekend. So come on down and visit with us. We're not going to have a table or anything, but we're going to be walking around and enjoying it. And come on down and visit with us.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
All right, so we're going to close this thing up. If you're out there listening on WBCQ on 7490, you've been listening to Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio and shortwave and electronics. You can join us on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time just by going to w5kub.com. All right, good night, everybody. We enjoyed being with you tonight. Hope there was parts of the show that you enjoyed. We'll see you next week.
There you go. Sorry about that. I thought I had that thing muted.
That's all right. That's all right.
Now
No, don't worry about it.
Streaming it live on the internet. Antenna swing, the skip is long. We're singing the ham radio song. Spin that dial.
Another variation.
40 meters never felt
Yeah.
so sweet. Or at the amateur radio roundtable with coax lines and power cables.
What's this coax line stuff? Sounds like we're on Miami Vice.
And a southern bell from
There you go.
Kelview 5GP to do a MUI 7BG. We're working the world wild and free.
Are we grooving out here?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yep. Well, you know what they do? They take the same song and put your lyrics to it. You know that you know.
Whoa, da 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 da.
That's Morse code, by the way.
You
Oh, of course.
out. Oh, now the amateur radio roundtable. Stories strong and signals stable. So key it up and call your name in this wild RF Hall of Fame. From KU5GP to you and me, we're hemming hard. 7-3.
That's pretty cool.
All right, we did have a little fun tonight. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I had an offer. We could have put our show on TV here, on the cable channel, local cable channel here. But I didn't know if I wanted, you know, all these people around Memphis knowing me.
It would go all the way down to downtown Memphis.
Well, it'd be in the metropolitan area here. I mean, whoever gets I guess that cable. I don't know.
Yeah, but is it really worth it for the amount of viewers you'd get?
I don't know. Probably wouldn't get but 1 or 2 viewers, you know, by accident.
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost not worth it. But hey, it might be fun too.
Yeah. But you know, I'd have to edit the video and get it all cleaned up, and each week get the video down to them, and
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
Well, you do it for that's the audio for WBCQ.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to cut the stream off. 73s to everybody. Enjoyed it. We will see you later.
Good night.